Good morning. This is a Scrapper Stash. Today I'm going to be doing a fun project. So a couple of you have realized that I was not around a couple weeks ago to do Scrapper Stash. And I was vacationing with my parents and my family. So we were in Utah, and that is what I'm going to scrap today. So you guys get to see pictures from our trip. We had a really good time. We were gone for almost 2 weeks. And yeah, it was really, really nice to get away. So this is gonna be the beginnings of my motorhome journal. I've been really, really bad about keeping a journal in there, and so I'm going to try my hardest now to scrap it right after the trip, so that I know that it's done. I don't have to do anything else, and then all the pictures are in there, and it's a done album when it's full. So I'm going to cut these down to a 6x8. This is going to be a 6x8 album. I'm falling in love with this size just because it's so simplistic to deal with. It's not overwhelming. If you're a card maker, you can easily figure these patterns out because they're more or less just a very large card. So it's very handy. So I'm just going to trim some of this stuff down. I want to get this zip off of here. I've already printed off my pictures and gotten them cut and ready to go. So now this I do want up. And this one I'm going to do a 5 1/4 by 7, and then on the other side is a 6 by 3 1/2. So I'm just going to do the 5 1/4 first. Let's see. Yeah, I need to do the 5 1/4 first because I'm going to be rotating it the other way. So I need the 6" the other way. So we're going to be doing that. Yep, and 5 1/4 is this way anyway. So 7, just make sure you know which way you're trimming. I'm just going to trim a 5 off this. So there's my first cut. That's for my left page. So I'm just going to sneak that in here so I know that belongs there. This is going to be a 6" cut. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the 6. Nope, I'm not. Hold on. These are the only things that you got to really be considerate of. So I need to cut it this way first. So I'm actually going to cut a 3 1/2 inch. It's a lot easier if you don't use a pattern that's up and down, right? And then I'm going to trim it down to 6. So this is going to span the length, the width of my page, my right hand page. And then these I'm going to use probably on some PMLs. We're going to create some PMLs hopefully. So I figure today we're going to just cut and assemble, and then maybe next Saturday we will finish up and embellish. So the 4 coordinating cardstocks I chose were Sundance, Sage, Sapphire, and Peach. I don't know why I have a plethora of peach, but I do. So I'm going to try to be using that up. Okay, so Sundance first. This one is going to be a 4 1/2 by 8. And these are nice because it doesn't matter which way you trim it, because there's no up and down. So 4 1/2. I hope I did a 4 1/2. I did, by 8. So I'm just going to trim a 4 off of here. And you guys can't even see that. I am so sorry. Here I am trimming on the wrong side this whole time. Okay, so that one goes on left page. The Sundance on the other side is going to be the same size. It's 4 1/2 by 8. Again, 4 inches. 12 minus 4 is 8. And this is going to go on the right hand side. Now I'm going to use sage. And this one is going to be a 7 by 3 3/4. Okay, so that'll, yeah, let's do 3 3/4 first. And we'll do 7, which 12 minus 7 is 5, so I'm just going to put 5. Okay, and that goes over on this side, left hand side. So this is not quite long enough. So I'm going to do a 1 3/4 inch off of this one. And 5 1/2. Now the rest of this stuff I'm going to use for the PMLs here in a little bit. I think that is all I need. Oh no, I need a couple mats. And I'm going to just use white as a mat. So let's use a daisy, actually. 4 by 6, so I already have the 4. Let's just trim a 6. It's going to go over on this side. And then these are 2 by 3s, so I'm just going to do 2 inches and 2 inches, and then so there's a 2. 2, and then we'll trim them down to 3, which is only an inch off of each one. That's on that side. And 3. Okay, and I think we're done with the trimmer for the moment. Oh, no, I lied. I have the zip strip to address. Let's do the zip strip. So the zip strip is going to be 4 1/2 inches. We're going to do 1, and then we're going to trim it in half. 4 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to straddle it in the middle of my blade. And trim it in half. It didn't really work as well as I had hoped. It wasn't exactly in the middle, was it? Let's do this again. Let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/2. I think that'll be better. Much better. Okay. So now we have 2 pieces that look alike. They're just a little bit interesting. We're going to go up on the tops. Okay, so now we are able to assemble. Let's start with the left-hand page. I'm going to start with Sundance. It's going to go in the middle. And span the entire length. Now, I just got in the mail this new Tombow Air. Don't know if you've used it. I am really, really enjoying it. It was a great switch for them. It's quiet. It's smooth. I don't know of another smooth one like this. It is pretty incredible. So, 3/4 inch on either side, just about. I'm going to stick this little guy at the top of here. I'm going to just move my right hand page so I can tape on this side over here. And it's more like one of the dots, the dot runners. I don't know if you've used a dot runner in the past, but super, super handy. And I think I want the white up. I don't know. Do I want it up or down? Up. I don't know. No, maybe down. Okay. Goes all the way across the Sundance. Next is my pattern. It's going to go more or less right in the middle. Here's that one. Now with the sage, I'm going to do a small dove down here. I'm only going to cut 1/4 inch. Okay. I want the dark side. And I'm just going to put just a little down from the top of the pattern paper. So it just hangs down just a touch down here. Now if you're wondering where I got this pattern, I'm actually using it from the current catalog. It's not a 6x8 pattern, it's actually a 12x12. And it's from the Gingerbread House page. And I just manipulated it down. Okay, this is going to go right in the center. This is going to be, probably should have inked the edges, but that's all right. Not a big deal. Okay, there's that. Because of the white, it should have inked it. But here's the picture that goes on this one. Okay, so it is a 4x6 already, and maybe I just leave it. Let's see. No, I like it matted. Let's just trim it a little bit. So here's my trimmer. I'll take this side off. Do 1/4 inch off that side, and then we'll do a 1/4 inch off the sky. And that'll just give me like 1/8 of an inch map all the way around, which is probably just perfect. Now where we went was Bryce Canyon first. So this is Bryce. This is, my daughter hated this part of it because this is Inspiration Point and it's super high up looking down at Bryce. So what I like to do is I like to flip it over so I don't get my fingerprints all over the photo, but I get a nice solid pressure on it. So there's our photo, but this was Bryce Canyon, and she got freaked out. It's a little high up, so she was a little freaked, but that's okay. She managed. She did pretty well. Okay. We're going to do the other side. It's going to be very similar, a little bit different, but very similar. start with Sundance. Make sure I'm using the same side of Sundance, not a different one. Now this is going to be, instead of a side-by-side, this is going to be front-back instead of like a typical double layout. But it's going to be cohesive when you see it front to back. Because I have some pockets in here too. And that's what we're going to work on next, is pockets. Then we have this one. Let's actually do the little zip. I did, yep, white down. Okay, and actually I'm going to go up. So I'm going to get, I already have my journaling printed out. So here's what we did for these 2 days. These were mostly travel days that I posted on this one. So I'm trying to document each day and what we did, what we saw, what we didn't like, that kind of stuff. And this I'm going to put right there, in 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. This one I'm going to put, because I want a title on this as well. I don't know what title I'm going to use yet. I probably will hand stamp that or something of that sort, but I'll do that next week. And this Tombow area is grippy, just so you know. Okay, here we go. So now I have this room for title. That's where it's going to go. Should be about a 1-inch tall title, so we can do that. I'm going to dovetail this just a little bit, 1/4 inch on both sides. I'll recut this side. There we go. Didn't go as high as I wanted to. Okay, that's going to go in here, but I want to make sure that I'm using the dark side. It's going to go in the middle of the pattern paper. Okay, now I have these 2 mats here, and they're going to go side by side. But maybe I will ink these because I have seen what I did on the last one, and I think maybe inking is probably a good idea. So I'm going to use some sapphire. I'm just going to ink these really fast. Here's my little sponge. I'm going to put my sapphire. It's actually behind that. Okay, there's sapphire. I'm not doing much, I'm just doing the edges really. It just gives it some distinction between, because I used a white based paper, pattern paper, this way you can actually see the mat. Not so sure you can on the other side, and I may have to mask and do something over there just so that I can see the mat. Probably should have chosen a different color mat, but that's okay. Good learning experience, right? Okay. And if you're wondering, this is Wander from a couple months ago, this paper, which I absolutely love, this paper. Let's see here. Let's try to put it in the middle and only about 1/8 of an inch over. Middle of the pattern, and 1/8 of an inch over from Sundance is what I'm doing, which puts about almost 1/4 inch in between. Okay. Now I have 2 other cute little photos. So it's my dad and my son. And if you call him son, he freaks out. He does not like that term. He thinks of the big sun, I guess. But this is him sitting on what he called his crocodile log. He's really into crocodiles and elephants and lions, and that was his crocodile log. And he had to go visit it every day that we camped here. And this is at Red Canyon, which is just down the street from Bryce. I'm going to do the same thing, flip it upside down so I get even pressure, nice firm pressure on all my photos, my entire page. And there's that page. So let's put them side by side so you guys can see what they look like. I think they turned out pretty cute. I think this is going to be a really good journal. So, like I said, they're going to be front and back. And I have a page protector. I also have some flip-flops that we're going to be using. I just didn't have quite enough room for the photos that I wanted. Flip-flops are a great way to utilize that. So, I actually put this in backwards. So, let's redo that. And it's kind of personal preference. Do you guys like your slit in the back or on the front? But, so there it is, front and then back. Okay, it'll be really nice when it's done. Alright, let's move on to the PMLs. Okay, this is the first PML. So here's all my photos. And I've already got my journaling. Okay. So there's quite a few photos in here. So these are going to be front and back in a PML. So that's why there's so many photos. It looks like a lot of photos, doesn't it? Okay. I have everything laid out on my computer, so I want to make sure my computer's up. So sorry about that. Okay, I know that these ones, that one, this one, see, those 4 are going to be on this page, on this side. One is going to be in a flip-flap. It's this one that's going to be in the flip-flap. And it's going to cover my journal. So let's go ahead and pull the trimmer back over. And we're just going to trim. Now I kind of want to see it next to this guy because this is how you're going to view it, is side by side that way. So I want to make sure that, let's see, I don't think this is a 4-inch. No, that's a 3-inch. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do a couple of these. Maybe one of these and then one of those for background. Okay, because these are going to be, let's just choose one and then we'll play with it. Okay. My stuff off my trimmer. Put this over here. Okay, so these pockets that I'm using are a 4x6 pocket. It's almost a 6, but I'm going to trim 4 just to start, just in case I want to use the rest of this paper later and not for this part. Now the other thing I can do is we can do opposite, right? So like we can use Sundance. I still have some Sundance, not a whole lot, but some. And we can do this going this way, so I can block it off 2 times, right? And have one below and one above as little stripes, and do opposite of this, where this is horizontal, do a Sundance with that. Don't know what I really want to do yet. I'm not so sure I want to do that. But how that would look is something like this next to it. More or less. Okay. Or we use the Sundance and block it off this way, and maybe we use Sundance as the mats. Maybe that's what I do. Let's see, I need to see what size picture I actually did. Okay, I trimmed it down. So these are going to be 3x4s, but I trimmed them down to 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's how I did that. But I think on this side, I think I am going to use maybe two of these, and then we'll see. I'm not very decisive right now. So, but I am going to do, let's see, this is a 4. This is a 4. So let's do a 3 here. I'm not going to get another 3 out of this, but that's okay. And this one in particular is going to be my pocket. So do that, and then we'll do, because I have a journaling spot. Let's see where my journaling is. See how big that is. Okay, my journaling on this one is a 3x4 exact. So it's going to cover the entire thing, so I don't need a mat for that, but what I might do is I might ink it just to make it stand out. Let's just do sapphire again because it's handy. I already have it out. Could also use distressed on this. I'm just using our regular inks, our exclusives. This way it stands out. Just a touch, it's going to go right there. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this down because I do know that I want that right there. I'm going to just trim a 4" off of this. Actually 3 3/4. Nope, I wanted a 4. Oh boy. 4". This is the mat, not the photo. And I think this is already 3, so we're good there. Although it covers up the entire thing, so I don't really want that. Use that as a mat somewhere else, I guess. Maybe in another PML. So this is going to cover this. And then we'll do a photo there, which let's do, this is a waterfall we went to, near Mossy Cave. It's right outside Bryce. Actually, I think it's actually part of the park. It's just, you don't have to pay to get to it. It's right off the highway. So there's that. It's a little crooked, and it, something is a little wonky. Okay, there. Again, flip it upside down. Don't get your fingerprints. It's easier to do it this way. Okay, so that's going to be in this pocket. And we'll just put this in front. I don't think it really matters. But I want to do this so that we can get this pocket on here, this flip-flop. And we'll have to take it out next week anyway, just to embellish these, because I do want some embellishments on here. I don't want them just super plain. And it's super tight. I'm going to cut this right at the limit. I want it in there so that I can put this flip-flop on there. There we go. Finally. Okay. Now we can get the flip-flop in place. Now, since this is a PML type of thing, either I'll do it this way. I think this is going to be clear, so it's not going to hinder that side. But I want to line it up. So, actually, when you're actually looking at it, there's no glare. It's just fine. But I'm going to go ahead and stick this down onto this mat. Then we get some Sundance in there to go with the other page on the left. So now that'll sit in there like this, and you'll just see photos until we flip it. It would be great if I could find the insert there. It's on the other side. Oh, goodness, heaven fits. This is a 3x4 flip-flop. Perfect. So there's that. So now when we're going through the album, we can flip it. I'll probably put another picture back here. But maybe we'll do that next week. I don't have one printed. So there's that one. Now, maybe we'll do, let's see, maybe we'll do some sage. Bring that together. Okay, so this is almost a 6-inch, so let's just do 4. I'm going to actually just do it here under 4. So I want it to fit pretty easily. Okay, so there's a 4x6. Okay, and now I have 2 more photos that will go down there. Those are these 2. We'll label this one next time. We'll label them in the next go around. Which was a pretty ambitious scrap your stash today. So this will have to be done in 2 parts. And I think these are backwards anyway, so I'm going to have, actually they are, I put it on the wrong thing, huh? Oh boy, that was not well planned, was it? So I put the flip-flop on the wrong thing. I don't think It's very hard to get them off. So we will have to figure that one out later. I think it might be okay. Because it's supposed to be like this, so that it matches up. Can you tell I'm still new at this whole scrapbooking deal? Let's see. We will just use another flip-flop on the other side. That's all. So it'll have to be down here instead. Although I think I have a couple flip-flops on another page. So let's just move this aside and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. So there's that one. I'm used to the other style, but boy, am I having some struggles with this one, huh? Let's get another page and I'll use that one somewhere else. Just pull all these out. These are the next ones, but okay. I am going to put these in correctly this time. Before I put that darn flip-flop on there. And there's that one. This one was much easier because I trimmed it just a little bit differently. Okay, so now I have it correct. That's how it's going to go. So we're going to take this one out. I'll just use that somewhere else. We'll use this on the next page, I think. Okay, I have another flip-flop. So let's try this again. This time, it's going to have to go like this, just because of the placement, which is okay too. They're super sticky, so make sure you get it where you want it before you truly stick it down. So now it's going to hold like that instead. So there it is. There's our journal. I'll probably put another, like I said, I'll probably put another picture back there. We have 4 pictures there. It's going to match up to this one like that. So that'll be really nice. And I think we've probably gone over our time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up and then we'll embellish it tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, next Saturday, the 20th. So just going through some of the other photos. After Bryce, we went to Kodachrome, and that's a state park, which was a lot of fun. This is Angel's Palace. Really fun. That's kind of a scary place. And then after Kodachrome, I thought I had another photo of Kodachrome too. Oh, I do. There's some more. We went and saw the Grosvenor Arch, and it's a double arch. It's really pretty. It's huge. If you haven't been here, this is definitely a place to go. It's one of the most spectacular arches I've seen. And I've seen a lot of them. And then we went to, this is Kodachrome in the background, and we went to the little slot canyon there, which is called Secret Passage. And then we went on to Escalante, and that's when my husband and my dad went for a drive, and they went and saw this really cool bridge, natural bridge, and this little arch. And then the next day it was super windy, so we stayed at the campsite, and we did dispersed camping, and we put the motorhomes like a foot away from each other, just blocking the wind. So it was really kind of funny. But the next day it was really nice. We went to Devil's Garden. If you haven't been there, that's really fun. It's down on Hole in the Rock Road. Really cool place. You get to scramble on all the rocks. And then we went and found some dinosaur tracks. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm a geologist, so it's hard to see them, but there are dinosaur footprints going towards me and my daughter, who's on my back. And they were like the big, huge, like circular footprints. They were really cool. So there's our trip. So we will see you guys for the rest of this project on Saturday. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Wednesday for our card. Bye.